Everyone finished reading the next issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return, Issue 3. Kimberly, along with Zack, Billy, and Jason, are held captive on the moon in the ruins of Rita's palace. They turn to see Selena. She introduces herself. She's the daughter of Rita and Zed. She exposits her evil scheme to them, an inherited trait. She goes on to explain that she plans to revive her mother. Rita used magic on the Benevolator to save herself by transferring herself into the Morphin grid, somehow. Not sure why she needed the Benevolator to do that, but whatever. It's then revealed that Finster is still alive, now with a beard. He then talks about how he ate a bunch of dead monsters to survive. Okay. I would have never thought too much about that, but alrighty then. I mean, he and Rita's whole crew survived just fine for 10,000 years trapped in a dumpster. You'd think 22 years would be nothing. Finster has altered his old Monster-matic into the Morphin-matic. It's powered by the power coins Selena has been stealing. She'll revive Rita with it somehow. Selena then pops back in to explain how she survived 22 years ago. Just as Tommy began to set the Benevolator, young Selena came in. Tommy tries to keep her safe, but gets attacked by putties when Finster shows up. He falls back and accidentally activates the device. He sees Rita do something to it before it goes off. On Earth's surface, Bulk and Skull find Selena. They think she's a lost child and take her to the police station, not noticing the green communicator behind her. In the present, Finster has finished harnessing the energy of the power coins to the Morphin-matic. Selena steps in. Her body is to be a vessel for Rita's return. It doesn't work, and it's Kim's turn to exposit. She informs Selena that there's one more power coin. Tommy gave Kim his morpher before they teleported away. Kim gave it to someone else. Selena frustratedly attacks Kim, demanding to know where it is. Suddenly, Finster detects something. A Green Ranger suddenly teleports in. Olivia Hart, Kim and Tommy's daughter. Well, this sure was a thing. It's not bad. It's definitely leagues over Ranger Academy. Unfortunately, there's quite a few issues I still have with it. Since this comic isn't following the show's continuity, I understand that elements from seasons later, past MMPR, aren't incorporated. However, I do think this was a missed opportunity to utilize some later elements in new ways. Selena is Rita and Zed's child. In the show, they did actually have a son, Thrax. I think he could have been used in Selena's place. His motives and goals were completely different than Selena's, but again, this is a completely new continuity, not beholden to what was previously established. Rita is potentially alive in the Morphin grid somehow, and requires a vessel to revive. This is really feeling like a bizarro version of Once and Always. Also, the Benevolator turns out to have been a bomb. I assumed the backup only killed those in the immediate vicinity, but nope, the backup just makes everything blow up. Finster is the only survivor of the explosion. Oddly, there seem to be some holes in his story. Selena says he survived by hiding in his vault, but we see him in the same room as Tommy, Rita, Selena, and the Benevolator. Could he have gotten away quick enough to still get in his vault? Maybe, but I'm suspicious. Is it possible there's something he's not telling Selena? One other thing doesn't line up. Selena insists it was Rita who saved her, but it seems to be Tommy's communicator that teleports her to Earth, so wouldn't that make it Tommy who saved her? How does Selena know what happened anyway? She appears to be pretty young, barely old enough to form words when she gets sent to Earth. Bulk and Skull find her, and presumably she's put in foster care somewhere on Earth, and assumed to be a typical human. Bulk and Skull are police officers, so far the only Season 3 element present in the comic. Still no Rito, Master Vile, or even Rocky Adam or Aisha. The only event from Season 3 canon, as far as we know so far, is Bulk and Skull becoming police officers. But even this is a little different, as they've apparently stayed on the Force instead of leaving, coming back, and leaving again. Unless this is that part at the beginning of Turbo, where they were back on the Force briefly. I guess in the Returns world, they just stayed on the Force for quite a few more years. Kim and Tommy's daughter Olivia makes her Ranger debut. She's the new Green Mighty Morphin Ranger. I kept thinking it was going to turn out to be Tommy still alive or something. No idea what to make of Olivia. Her only prior appearance was one page of her not knowing what was going on last issue. The Return continues to be an interesting take on the series. I'm not in love with it. I'm just not a fan of sequels that try to be dark and edgy. This comic does do it well enough, but another caveat I have with it is simply that it's yet another MMPR comic. As dull and bland as Ranger Academy is, at least it tries to be its own thing, to the point where I wonder why it's even a Power Rangers story, but whatever. The Return just feels weird. It's set in its own odd world, similar but different. There's a sense of familiarity, but at the same time there's a disconnect because these aren't the same characters I know. Conflicting is the word I'd use to describe my thoughts on The Return. That's it for this one, hope you enjoyed it. See ya.